team from the chemical weapons watchdog, the OPCW, came under fire in Syria on Wednesday while trying to enter the town of Duma. They are in the country to investigate the alleged chemical attack on the 7th of April. RT's Ilya Petrenko reports on the latest developments.
First, I just want to break down the process for you, how it works. Initially, the UN security team is meant to be sent on the ground to assess whether it's safe to work there. And the agreement has been that at a certain stage, they must be escorted by the Syrian troops, and at a different stage by Russia's military police. So the security staff, apparently, they were on this initial rehearsal trip, to put it this way, and according to an official statement by the OPCW, they came under small arms fire, and then also an explosive device was detonated, and that was the reason why they had to retreat and go back to Damascus. We understand from the statement from the Russian army that the exchange of fire happened when it was specifically the Syrian army in charge of providing security for that squad.
On the 17th of April, while securing the UN reconnaissance mission in the city of Duma, a skirmish occurred between the Syrian Security Service and unknown figures. An officer from the Syrian Security Service was slightly wounded in an exchange of fire.
Previously, Washington and London were pointing the finger at Russia and their ally Syria for what they called trying to hide facts and also hamper the mission of the chemical watchdog in Syria.
A wider operation to conceal the facts of the attack is underway, supported by the Russians.
Their whole goal in this is to try to cover up.
Of course, it's not up to the UN and the OPCW to judge who this attack came from, but what it is worth asking is whether the Russians and the Syrians are genuinely helping them out on the ground. And if the answer is yes, that might put London and Washington in a somewhat awkward position here.
Chemical weapons expert at Rice University, James Tour, says any attempts to cover tracks will prove fruitless.
It'd be very hard to clean the area up from any trace of the residues of a nerve agent. I mean, this is, if it's properly dispersed by a nation-state attack on people, it's going to be all over on walls and buildings. And if it was a chlorine attack, the chlorine will be gone. But no nation-state, in my view, would ever use chlorine. It is a very inefficient gas to be used. That makes no sense to drop a chlorine cylinder out of any aircraft. Any terrorist group might affix a bomb to a cylinder and try to blow it up, but a lot more people are going to get hurt by the munition rather than by the chlorine. It has to be properly dispersed. So nation states don't use chlorine.